Why you should take testosterone and why you shouldn't. First off, if you're under 30 years old, you should not be touching testosterone. Your body is still growing. You haven't reached your peaks in anything, whether you're a bodybuilder, a power lifter, etc. Now, if you're over the age of 35 or so, your testosterone levels have been steadily declining. Now, your testosterone is not just responsible for muscle growth, and that's the problem that a lot of people have. They think this big word testosterone is just for, oh, you're going to get big muscles and you're going to be overly aggressive. And then no, testosterone is responsible for your libido, your sex drive. It's responsible for many things in your health, your organs, etc., your state of mind, whether you have anxiety or depression. A lot of these things are directly tied to your testosterone levels. If you have low testosterone levels, you're going to heal slower. You're going to have weaker bones. You're going to have depression, anxiety, etc. All these things are directly tied together. Now, the pharmaceutical industry is going to try to trick you. I just watched a video where they said only 2% of men over 40 need testosterone. Now, the average person watching that is just going to take that and say, well, only 2%. That's 1.6 billion men. There's 1.6 billion men over the age of 40 in the world. That's how many men need testosterone after the age of 40. And by needing testosterone, I mean need TRT. This is why depression is so high, suicide is so high among men, because their testosterone levels are bad a lot of times. Now, to show how bad this actually is even further, the highest rate of people offing themselves is within the LGBT community. And the reason for that is that when men are doing this transitioning thing, that they are taking away all their testosterone and they're replacing it with estrogen. Now, as those testosterone levels are dropping, it increases depression dramatically. And this is why they have the highest rate of that in the world. And it's not even close to anything else. Next is men over the age of 40. And the reason for that is also low testosterone. Now, the pharmaceutical industry would like to trick you into thinking you need this pill, that pill, this pill. And I promise you, the majority of the time, and not always, because some people do need those pills, the majority of the time, your anxiety, your depression, your obesity, your lack of motivation, your mood frame, your weak bones, all these things are directly tied to you as an older man having low testosterone. Now, if you're a teenager, do not touch it. There's no reason to. You have not reached your peak. You are going to stunt your own growth. You are going to hurt yourself. And by the time you're 23, 24, you're going to be destroyed. And there's a reason for this. As you develop and as your muscles get stronger, your joints have to develop as well. When you're taking testosterone before your body has fully developed, your muscles are getting bigger and stronger, yes, but your joints have not been able to catch up because you're trying to skip a part of the workout, a part of your bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever, which is completely essential, and that's strengthening your joints. So your joints are weaker. This is why a lot of these younger kids that are doing steroids are constantly injured. They're pulling biceps. They're destroying their shoulders. They're hurting your back. Now, don't get me wrong. I've hurt both my shoulders, but I'm older and I've never pulled a pec. I've never destroyed a bicep, even though I have a strict curl world championship. I've never torn anything in the gym. Now, I did tear my shoulder doing a restraint at work, but I got 3 kids all over 220 pounds trying to stab each other and hit each other with rocks, and I'm trying to break up the fight between all 3 of them. So yeah, I tore my shoulder, but I've never tore anything else. Even with a New York State record for bench press, even with a world championship for strict curl, I have never torn anything because I didn't do any TRT until I got into my mid-30s. Now, the pharmaceutical industry would love for you to be on Xanax. They would love for you to be on hydrocodone. As a matter of fact, there's actual lawsuits that have been won against the pharmaceutical industry for them pushing these drugs upon people. They want you on Adderall. They want you on all these drugs because you can't concentrate as you get older. You have a lack of motivation. And they say, oh, well, you have depression. You have anxiety. No, you have low testosterone. And that's the first thing you should check. Now, the problem is a lot of doctors are older doctors. And the problem is they didn't even start giving people testosterone until I think it was either 2006. It was around that time frame. So before that, you couldn't even get testosterone. So a lot of doctors who went to school before then, they never really learned about it. They were never taught about testosterone injections or TRT, etc. So they have a lack of knowledge on it. And the average guy in the gym who actually does these type of things is going to be able to tell you better how they work than your doctor half the time. You have doctors giving people testosterone and telling them to take a shot every 3 weeks. The half-life on testosterone ethynate is 4.5 to 7 days. On siphonate, it's 7 to 9. So why are you taking this shot every 3 weeks? By the time the 3 weeks come, your levels have went back down. So here you go up, you feel great, and then you just drop. And now you're back in depression, etc. A lot of doctors are doing this. They don't even know how to prescribe testosterone accurately. Now, one thing that TRT will do is it will bring your red blood cell count up. Now, as your red blood cell count goes up, you can counteract that by giving blood every year. I give blood once a year. So when you give blood, it'll bring your red blood cell count down and it'll level everything good. My liver enzymes are perfect. My heart rate is good. My blood pressure is good, etc. Now, at one time, my blood pressure was high, but not from the TRT. It's the fact that I like to eat 6 pieces of pizza and fried chicken and a bunch of snacks at 3 o'clock in the morning. Another issue is people label TRT a drug, and it is, and they label it a steroid, which it also is. The problem is steroid is a whole group of drugs, and there's a massive difference between taking testosterone, 250, 200, whatever, once a week, and taking trenbolone, 500 milligrams a week, because trenbolone is 10, some people say even 20 times stronger than testosterone. There's also all types of other things, Deca, Anavar, etc., and these things do different things to your body. As a matter of fact, if you take oral steroids instead of a shot, they actually hurt your kidneys and your liver, so you should never do that. So they label this all together. It's like saying, oh, you smoke marijuana, you're a drug addict. But you're definitely not the same as a crackhead or a heroin user. 1,000% you're not the same. So the problem is this word steroid. They throw everything and label everything together. They're not the same. TRT is going to have a minimal risk to your body, and there's less than 1% of people who actually take testosterone that have to watch any type of issues, and the majority of them never have it. They just get higher red blood cells, etc. And I feel like a lot of that could actually be attributed to the fact that they have bad eating habits or they don't go to the gym. It's another problem people have. You think everybody on TRT is going to the gym, and that is completely inaccurate. I got a homeboy who was on TRT for years, and he never goes to the gym. He sits in a truck. He's not in shape, but the TRT was making him feel better, and he actually had to come off because his red blood cell count got too high. He wasn't feeling good, etc. It's probably due to his diet and the fact that he doesn't exercise at all. So you should get your testosterone levels checked if you're having any type of issues. If you're obese, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if your state of mind is not well, if you feel like you have weak bones. Testosterone actually helps osteoporosis. Probably pronounced that absolutely fucking wrong, but you get what I'm saying. So you should have your testosterone levels checked by your doctor. If they're low, and don't let your doctor tell you what's low, because I've seen doctors tell guys, oh, you're at 150. That's no, the fuck it's not. Your testosterone levels should be 500 minimum. If you're anything under that as a man, you're going to get signs of depression, anxiety. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel unmotivated. Now, some guys, they walk around with a 900 testosterone level at 45, 50 years old. More power to them. I do not. My testosterone level is around 80 to 100 before I started TRT. Also, having low testosterone causes fatty liver disease. So if your testosterone is low, it's actually bad for your liver. Now, only 2 things cause fatty liver disease: over drinking and low testosterone. I have fatty liver disease. I was never a heavy drinker. As a matter of fact, get drunk off 2 shots. So it was the low testosterone that was giving me a liver issue, and coming on TRT has fixed that. I haven't had any issues since. So if you're watching this and you're over the age of 30, 35, and you're having any of those issues, depression, anxiety, you're on a bunch of medications, it's probably your testosterone. Get it checked, get on TRT, and I promise you your life will be better.